Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today's going to be a very big one because we have some exciting upgrades to do today. So essentially what we're going to be doing is upgrading the radiator. We're also going to be putting silicone hoses in, our high flow thermostat, and a bigger intercooler. So yeah, as you can see, it's going to be a big day. So I'm going to run you through everything, how to install it, and I'm pretty excited to do these upgrades and see what the results is afterwards. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Right guys, so I just want to show you everything that you need to do today's job essentially, and what we're going to be installing. So as you can see, we have the upgraded intercooler over here. Now this is the Unicorn Performance one. We have this one on the website as the Stage 2. Essentially the Stage 2 just has these tough brackets over here. So if you're going to be doing a lot of touring, you know, corrugations, that sort of stuff, you need these high quality brackets just so it doesn't, you know, break over time. Whereas the Stage 1 intercooler is more for people that just want a replacement that will provide better airflow as well. So yeah, that's essentially the difference. We're also going to be installing these silicone hoses. Now why silicone is because it will literally outlast the vehicle, and unfortunately with Mitsubishi's it's a typical problem for the intercooler hoses to split, and that's a bit of a problem, especially when you're out of nowhere, you have a split, you won't get your turbo working efficiently and getting all that air into the engine. So yeah, you're going to have a performance issue. So we're definitely going to be installing this for reliability. It is a 6-ply hose as well, and it's our own brand, guys, so that's pretty exciting. So we normally use Offroad Daily, but if they are out of stock, we're going to keep these in stock just in case you guys are after them. The other thing we're going to be installing is a thermostat. Now this is a high flow one which opens at 77 degrees, so it's going to open up a bit earlier, make sure all that coolant goes through the cooling system. Make sure you also have a thermostat gasket. Might as well just change that over when you're in there. Automatic transmission fluid, this is also important to top up because you will lose a bit when you take your radiator out. And then last but not least, obviously coolant, because we are going to drain it. So to drain it, just have some buckets that you can use just to drain it into. And then also if you don't want to get your hands dirty, I recommend gloves as well, especially if you get all that coolant over yourself. Your hands will feel a bit weird. So yeah, that's all we need. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so first up, the easiest way to do it is basically to take out the radiator, and then you have room to get to your hoses and undo all of that. And then down the bottom, this is where the intercooler is. It's just behind the factory bash plate. The sway bar is also in the way. So just make sure the sway bar, you undo all these bolts over here, the 4 bolts, and then let it sit down, and then you'll have access to the radiator to drain it, and it won't make such a mess if the sway bar is in the way. Okay, we've now drained all the coolant, but while we are here, guys, so you might as well just take off your pipe over here from the turbo. So let's quickly do that. There we go, and then just your breather pipe, and as you can see, it's got some soot on it and stuff, so you might as well just give it a good clean. You can also test your turbine on the turbo, so have a little feel. There should be minimal movement, like a little bit, but if your turbine is like very loose, then you might be up for a new turbo. So yeah, you can definitely just check that right there. And then we're going to take the top hose of the radiator off and the lower hose, and then we can pull out the radiator. And also I'll show you what to do with the fan cover. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so instead of messing around with the bottom radiator pipe, it's quite tricky to get it loose from underneath. So what you want to do is get the top pipe loose from the thermostat, or just unbolt the thermostat entirely, because we're going to be exchanging that one as well, and then the whole radiator with the pipe can come out. So yeah, let me undo the thermostat and go from there. Okay, I've just taken the thermostat housing off, and I want to show you guys this. So this is what it shouldn't look like. So as you can see, there's a bit of a white going with the green, and that sort of tells me the coolant hasn't been changed in a long time. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that we're going to be doing this radiator, just so we can put some new coolant in it and let it run fresh again. So yeah, let's continue on. Okay, so here's the old thermostat, guys. So to get it out, all you got to do is just use 2 pliers, because it might be a bit sticky. So just grab onto it and slightly pull it out and it will come out, no problem. So on this one, you can see it opens up at 82 degrees. So we went out and bought a bit more high flow one. So this one opens up at 77 degrees. It's also on the website if you guys are interested, by the way. Make sure to buy the gasket as well, just to put that on. Then yeah, she's ready to go back in. Anyway, it's now time to put out the radiator, so let's do that. Okay, so very last but not the least, make sure the fittings down the bottom of the radiator is also undone, just so your automatic transmission fluid can drip out into your bucket. Once that is done, the radiator will come out. So yeah, just make sure everything's disconnected down the bottom before you start pulling it out. Now that the radiator is out, as you guys can see, you have all this room and access to your hoses. So we're basically just going to get all the hoses out now. The thermostat is back in as well, the new one. Might be a good idea as well to do all your drive belts while in there. So just for a tip. But anyway, let's get rid of all these old hoses and whack in the new one and also the new intercooler. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so here we have it. So this is the old intercooler and this is the new one. So the new one being aluminium, and it also has a larger core on the sides, as you guys can see, whereas this one is a little bit thicker as well and this one is thin. So yeah guys, that's basically the main difference. It's not like much thicker by dimensions wise, that sort of thing, because it's a direct replacement. So everything's just going to bolt up straight, but I do love how braced these brackets are. They will never bend, whereas the old ones, one hit and it bends. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. And also make sure the rubbers on the top goes onto the new one. So we'll just put it on there, put it into the car. So yeah, let's bolt that up now. It's finally time to put on all the hoses, guys. So very exciting. It also comes with clamps, but I do recommend just using your original clamps and use the others as extras for if it ever snaps or whatever. So yeah, we're basically just going to put it on and go from there. Okay, so finally we are done with all the hoses, guys. Now we're going to be putting this 5-core radiator back into the long wheelbase. This one is actually out of the short wheelbase. So essentially with these radiator, guys, they aren't a perfect fit. All right, so what you got to do is use a grinder or cutter. Just make sure there's a space here for the hose to go on. Same with the bottom, just zip tie the bottom bits together. It's nice and strong still, so that's fine. And then the two at the top will still line up. So yeah, let's put this one in, connect all the hoses and fill it up with coolant. See how we go. Awesome guys, what a day it has been. We are finally done and dusted. So all you want to do now is make sure all your fittings are nice and tight, all your hoses are tight, turbo hoses, intercooler hoses, all sort of hoses. Now, as you can see, we've fully topped up the radiator. It takes about 10 to 15 liters. So what you want to do now, guys, is start it with it open, because the thermostat also needs to open and let all the coolant go through it as well. So there might still be a bit that needs to be touched up, and we also want all the air to escape. You'll see all the bubbles come up, which is good, and then finally when it stops bubbling, that's when you can put your radiator cap back on. So yeah, let's start the car. Alrighty, we are all done and dusted, guys. As you can see, it's been a very fun day. But yeah, we've started up the car. So remember, guys, the thermostat will only open at like 77 degrees. So then it will start cycling the coolant through the engine. So let the car then cool down, open up your cap and see if it needs a top up, because it most likely will. But yeah, guys, that is basically it. That's how to upgrade your thermostat, your radiator, and the hoses and the intercooler. It's a very big day. But yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to drop it down below. Otherwise, all of these items are on the website right now, guys. And for all those still watching, you're legends. You can use this code for every single item to get some discount on it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.